backgrounds. Overall I had fun. Am I ever gonna do this again? Probably not. Okay, listen. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I thought about this idea for more than 5 seconds at 2 a.m. one night. I'm speedrunning Huevember. Let's get it. Oh, I guess if you're a new viewer, hi, welcome. My name is Sav. I make bad art decisions most of the time, and you should maybe watch my previous video, Speedrunning Arttober. Otherwise, my joke at the beginning doesn't have any context, and I just want to make... Anyway, let's get this show on the road. Huevember, a month-long challenge where you get one hue for each day of the month of November. You can change the values. The concept itself is way more basic than Arttober, which I find incredibly daunting for some reason. Some people put word values to it, and you know what? That's much less scary. But my mama didn't raise a coward. She did, however, teach me to know my limitations, so I will be doing something sort of like this, which is more of a can I think of 30 characters from a single story type of challenge. And you know what? I think I can. I'm going to be trying something new this video where I talk about the process over the video time-lapse. Let me know what you prefer in the comment section below. Okay, I want to start this by saying the first minute or so is me trying to make a stained glass window background for the characters to be on, but I quickly realized that this program, A, wasn't liking me trying to make too many circles. It just slowed down super hard. And B, it just didn't have the capabilities that I really wanted. So I'm gonna take this time to try to explain where all of these characters came from. It's from a roleplay group near and dear to my heart called Tales of Archaeo. The concept is sort of like Code Lyoko-ish, where chosen humans with an innate creativity are chosen to come to this other universe parallel to the real one, and they get special powers based off their main hobby, like art or music. And there are other creatures there that all have creative and fun references to the real world. A lot of them are puns, and it's just super cute. The chosen humans are called sketches. They have counterparts called creative blocks. There are character icons, or CIs for short, which are sketches who died in this world and their alter egos basically gained consciousness. There are Mary Sues, who are just super powerful characters for no reason other than to be super overpowered. There are island spirits, which are like guardians of creativity. The whole world is set on kind of an island landscape, so every island has its own spirit of the island's identity. And the last thing I'll explain is Archaeans, which are basically creatures or characters that originate from Archaeo that don't ultimately have a connection to the real world in any way. They are fully encapsulated in Archaeo. Okay, terms out of the way, I'll try to keep up the reference chart of what I'm talking about where, but despite the group having a pretty tame basic premise, it's actually really complex in how characters interact and build the world has always been amazing to me. The ideas that go into the group just continue to make it grow and expand, and that's what's always made me happy. The characters I'm drawing now are either my characters or characters of some of my closest friends, Raskar, Ren, Kakairi, and Knight. Raskar and Kakairi being the other two admins along with myself, and Ren and Knight just being really great creative influences for me. The first character I started with is a character icon named Curse. He is a pirate. I made him second closest to red because he has red hair and wears a lot of red. He was originally a character from another story who I adapted into this one, and I think I prefer this version of him. He's just a lot more fun and a relatively good guy, and this pose was a lot of fun to draw too, and is honestly the reason why I started with him first. Next up, Discorda. She is a creative block to my own sketches to Melody. Her appearance is kind of based on Melody's real-life appearance, and her whole personality is meant to mock the kind of person Melody is supposed to be, which is perfect in every way and not showing her emotions or playing music for fun. I made her red because she wears red. Most of the creative blocks have a red theme, and it just made the most sense to make her red. Speaking of, Melody is next. She was my first sketches character. Her core, or creative basis, is actually labeled papercraft. Her weapons and stuff are made of origami shapes because there was a long bit of time where she lost her passion. But Archaeo, the universe, always knows deep down who you are, so it's got a very strong tie to her musical background. She is pink because her hair is my favorite shade of bubblegum pink. I actually just gave her a redesign, so you'll see me swapping back and forth to make sure I'm doing it justice. And the violin by her side is named Arco, and he is a sentient paper violin that follows her everywhere. The next character is Sakura. She is an island spirit to the island of Mary Sue's, so she's designed to look like a generic magical schoolgirl. Despite being one of the most powerful entities, Sakura is actually really sweet. She has a brother who's also an island spirit with her, but he didn't fit on the wheel. There's actually a lot of characters that didn't make the cut that I was sad not to include. You'll notice that my sketch has her in a poofy dress. I actually forgot she wears a schoolgirl outfit and not a magical girl one, so I had to fix it in post. But I'm really happy with how it came out regardless. She is the second pink because her hair is also pink. I fiddled a lot with the shoes because I struggled so much with her heels and making them look natural at all. Eventually I gave up. The next character I also changed in post quite a bit. It's Troubadour, Raskar's sketchist. Troubadour is sort of the unofficial leader of this generation of sketchists. She is a musician, her aesthetic is based off of a bard. I put her in the purples because her hair is purple. That's kind of the theme for a lot of these characters. Most annoyingly, I decided to give her a guitar as I was doing the line art, so I finished the whole bodice piece and then ended up having to erase it anyway to fit it in. Please don't mind the free-drawn guitar. From a distance, it does not look that bent up. The next two characters I drew in conjunction because they sort of go together. Left to right, they are my characters Astral and Faye. Astral is a half-dragon tinkerer character icon, and Faye is a robotin created by Astral's sketchist before she died. Faye's purple is a little too saturated to be completely accurate because Faye is a muted character, but Astral's is pretty spot on for her purple horns and tail. Next up is Ramla, one of Ren's sketchists. Her core is sand sculpture. She is super sweet and her design is always fun to draw. She's a bit timid and quiet, but definitely one of the strongest veteran sketchists. She's got this really cool staff that she funnels sand through for some of her magic powers, and I always loved its simple yet memorable design. I also enjoyed drawing the cute hibiscus flowers in her hair. She used to have just one, and my girl upgraded to a whole crown. Next is Alistair, a complicated Sioux if there ever was one. He was originally a villain under the name Ruin. He sacrificed the love of his life and in the end his own morality and humanity in an attempt to bring back his brother from death. It didn't work entirely and it drove him to very bad decisions. He's kind of the peak of how dark a universe based in light and creativity can be. Next is my sketchist DJ. She is a great example of how Archaeo can change you completely because her real-world self is blind, but she can see in Archaeo. Her core is dance because even in blindness she always loved to dance to beats, even if she doesn't know what she's doing. Beside her is Gear, Raskar's second sketchist. He's a subdued toy maker. We joke that he can't talk to girls, but really talking to mostly anybody makes him pretty uncomfortable. He's realistic and analytical, but that doesn't stop him from bringing perfect creativity into the world. So, the next, 8 characters are pretty closely related to each other and intertwined in some way. First is Storm, a mermaid character icon who is the resident healer of Safe Haven, the main town of Archaeo. Omera is her adopted daughter, who runs the inn, and is basically a cute blue slime girl character icon. Above them is Nettie, Storm's birth daughter, and Archaean, technically. She can change colors, just like her mom, but she's got legs and a couple of sewing powers from her dad, who has formerly disappeared from the universe. Above her is Avon, short for Aventurine. He is an Archaean son of Jade and Curse, the pirate from before. Jade is actually above Avon. She is Storm's adopted sister. She makes jewelry and accessories for sketches. Above them is Cho and Florette. Cho is a character icon who adopted the Archaean Florette because she's just a little flower girl and she's kind of like a protector of the Safe Haven. And Cho and Storm are like unofficial mom and dads because that's kind of their figurehead at the moment. They take up most of the greens and light blues on that whole left side. And above them is Rhapsody, or at least the human version of her. Rhapsody is actually like a 200-foot sound serpent that is Curse's pet slash best friend, and even in human form, all she does is screech loudly. When she adopts a human form, she also takes the outfit of Curse because that's the person she knows the best. Coming back up to the top corner, it's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, like Faye from earlier, is a Robotin, except it is Astral herself that made her. Kind of from a defect in Astral, Elizabeth is more designed like a wind-up toy and doesn't have the complete free movement that Faye does, but she is super cute and I put her in green because she wears green! Sue me! Next is Calotype. Calotype is one of Kakairi's sketches. He is a photographer and wears green, so that's where he is. He's a pretty goofy character, and I had him posing with this camera. I can't even be sure if he has one like this. He actually has a, camera crossbow, which is cool, but I just wanted him taking a selfie with the next character, who is Des, short for Decibel. He's an Archaean, taken from the past, and is the sketchist form of Alistair's younger brother, the same one he tried to bring back. He went through a lot of trauma and distress, but he's making recovery with the help of his new friends and freedom. Next is Trix. She is a Sue with 4 personalities, each one based on a different suit of cards. Trix just happens to be the green one. Again, I forgot when I did the sketch that she doesn't have a hammer like I originally sketched her to have, so I turned it into a sign that she probably stole from somewhere. Trix is one of the 2 main versions sketches tend to meet, and she's always pulling jokes, whether that's tying her laces together or actually trying to drop a piano on you for giggles. Next, at the very tip top, it's Astasi. She is an Archaean turned Sue from a magic artifact. Most watercolor mermaids happen to be one color, and she stole this artifact to boost her ego and make herself her own version of beautiful because she didn't feel loved enough. She also made herself a bit sharky to show how powerful and strong she is as well. Beside her is Sarah, full name Serenade. She is an island spirit who was previously a sketchist. She willingly gave her life to Alistair in hopes to bring back his younger brother, and when it didn't work, she still stayed by his side until a breaking point. Next, left to right, is Auric and Wick. They are both pirate Archaeans who live on Devilfish, an island of pirates. Auric has, and has always had, a huge crush on Astasi, but is too shy and poor on himself to say anything to her. Wick is Auric's best friend and is trying to be supportive while also trying to look out for him because he's got a good heart. Next, into the oranges is Pain, but we'll come back because I didn't have a reference at the time, and for Knight's designs I definitely needed one handy. I drew Captain Archaeo. This is Ren's second sketchist and Ramla's little brother. He has a comic book core and the biggest heart for adventure and excitement. He is basically just like a little superhero. So rounding back above Curse is Scanned, spelled like this because why not? He is a game designer core and is Kakairi's second sketchist. Scanned and Calotype both have this adventurous protagonist vibe that I've always really liked, and his weapons are so unique. His sword is a health bar and his shield is this little spinner top thing. Alright, at this point I got my reference, and as you can see, I definitely needed it right next to me. Knight's ivory detail, especially in this watercolor media, is so amazing. So now that I've finished all the line art, I'm just going around and filling in the color, and I'm just gonna let that speak for itself. I think I've heard myself talk long enough. Welcome to the end credits bit. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. This was really just a love note to one of the creative worlds that got me through a lot of hard times in college. Thank you to Raskar, Ren, Kakairi, and Knight for letting me draw your beautiful characters, and hopefully the group will be up and running next year.